welcome to Only 3.0. So, I want to bring attention to a really exciting project that's coming up soon. We've just recently done two incredible round of fundraisers. It's this new layer one platform called Aptos Labs. Now, if you don't know much about Aptos Labs, you need to have this project on your radar because I think it's going to be an incredibly successful project. It's got some amazing backers behind it. It's got a very strong team, and it's already got pretty much a working product because it's built up from Facebook's DM. Do you remember the recent blockchain? Facebook's venture into blockchain, and Facebook tried to do their own cryptocurrency project called Libra. So they were trying to build that kind of Facebook stablecoin cryptocurrency, but then they ran into trouble with the regulators because regulators weren't happy that Facebook was trying to reinvent money. So Facebook had some challenges, and effectively they had to shut it down. So if I share the story with you here, so you can see what I'm talking about. So Facebook tried to do this thing last year called Libra, which was a cryptocurrency wallet and a stablecoin, but the US regulators weren't really happy with Facebook and didn't really give Facebook the clearance they need to move the project forward. And in the end, Facebook renamed it to DM and tried to make it a more generic blockchain, but that didn't work. So Facebook gave up and sold it for 200 million to Silvergate Bank, which is a cryptocurrency focused bank, for $200 million. This article here tells you more about it. So Zuckerberg's ambition appears to be coming to an unceremonious end with the DM project folding and selling off its assets. But even though DM sold off its assets and Facebook effectively moved away and just distanced themselves from the cryptocurrency project because of all the hassle with the regulators, the project and the team still stayed intact, and they have just again closed $350 million worth of funding, and they are looking incredibly strong, incredibly solid. So back to the article on why I think you should have this project on your radar. So again, they raised $150 million initially in their funding round led by FTX Ventures, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX Exchange, one of the biggest players in the cryptocurrency space. Sam is one of the smartest people in cryptocurrency. When Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX back a project, pay attention to this project because it means the project and the team have something about them if FTX are backing the project. So again, FTX has participated in the funding round. There's also some other very big noticeable backers. Jump Crypto, a very big crypto market maker. If you look at some of the big crypto projects out there, your blockchains, your layer ones, your DeFi, your GameFi projects, Jump Crypto is a name that you'll find on the capital sheet. They'll be part of a raise. It's a very big player in the crypto space. So when they're backing the project means business. Most importantly, look who they have backing them: Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. One of the biggest backers of successful Web2 technology companies like your Ubers and all the glitzy, glam, high market cap big players on the traditional tech scene. Andreessen Horowitz are likely to have been behind them, backing them, or led their funding round. So Aptos is stacked out with backers. Again, Multicoin Capital, a very successful VC that focuses on Solana ecosystem. Circle, the makers of USDC, is also backing them. So Aptos Labs have a significant amount of money, clout, power, and influence behind them. And what they're trying to build is a layer one blockchain, so a competitor to Ethereum, to Binance, to Solana, to Cardano. And they aim to be faster, more efficient and more scalable. This is just the same kind of sell that every new layer one says. We're going to be faster, more efficient, more scalable than the other layer ones out there. We're better than them. It's all the same kind of talk. But if you look at this project and why I think it's one to watch, they're not building from scratch. They are just porting over the old tech that they were building with Facebook and making the tech stronger. They've got a solid team in place, solid backers, they're well funded, and they're not too far from launching their mainnet. They've been in testnet for a while, and if you so recently interviewed the founder and he said they're ready to move out of testnet and come into mainnet now. So I would expect this project to be on the market relatively soon. So it's definitely one you should have on your radar. Again, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to use their existing technology and programming language moves. So this isn't a vaporware project. They have all the infrastructure ready in place and they're just ready to move forward. And they have a lot of smart researchers, engineers, builders and coders that are working on the project when it was at Facebook, obviously renamed to Meta. So I can see this project really taking off and becoming a huge success. So if we read a bit more about the project here, so this article we spoke about the earlier $150 million Series A funding round they did. And if we look at the second round, and this is where it gets really interesting, Binance Labs has participated in their funding round. So, Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange, headed by Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, incredibly smart, well-connected player. And if he's investing in this, then there's definitely something here. Again, this should also mean this is going to be listed on Binance, just speculating here. And Binance is one of the biggest exchanges, well, the biggest exchange in the cryptocurrency space. So if they're going to be on Binance, they're going to have a lot of volume, and it's likely that this project is going to absolutely pump and reach significant heights. So it's one to watch. I wouldn't buy it or attempt to get position in it. Again, not financial advice. When it comes in the market, it's best to wait for it to settle, and then when the price kind of settles off a bit after the initial hype, then you could potentially look to see if this is the kind of project that fits the kind of things you want to get exposure to. So just reading on further, so after they received initial investment in March, which was 150 million, they've raised another 200 million in funding. The valuation is now north of $1 billion, so it's already a unicorn. If you read on further, it seems like what they're saying is that they believe this is going to be different to BNB chain and Solana and is more efficient and secure. So if you have the head of Binance's venture arm saying this is going to be more efficient and more secure as a layer one than your Solanas, than your Cardanos, etc., so definitely one to keep on your radar and pay attention to. Maybe when later on when they launch, I could potentially do a more deep dive video into what they are, what they do, and what I think the potential market cap of this project could be, and what I think the opportunity to get a position in this particular project could be going forward. But it's, again, Aptos Labs project to keep on your radar. So just to take you through the website now, so you can have a look at it. So here's the website. So they're doing the testnet right now. They're about to move out testnet and come onto mainnet. Mainnet just basically means they're going to launch the full blockchain, so people can start to use it, transact in it, and builders can start to build dApps and protocols on it and NFTs, etc. So have a look at the website. You can go through the white paper if you want to find out more about the project, etc. It's definitely one I think you should really keep on your radar, because all what I've seen of it so far looks really exciting. So just take you through a few more interesting articles. If you read this one here, very interesting, that Wormhole, one of the biggest bridges, a bridge is basically a protocol where you can move cryptocurrency or value from one blockchain to another. So if I had some money on, I don't know, let's say I had some USDC on Ethereum and I wanted to get it over to Binance chain, you use a bridge to convert let's say I had $100 in USDC. With a bridge, I can move that $100 in USDC from Ethereum onto Binance Smart Chain. And Wormhole are effectively, if not the biggest bridge, it's one of the biggest bridges in the crypto space. And if they are moving on to Aptos, then that is a significant seal of approval for the blockchain and something to pay attention to. PIF is a Oracle, so kind of on-chain data provider, is also looking to build an Aptos blockchain. So very bullish that two incredibly big projects are moving on to Aptos. This is a significant thumbs up to the blockchain, and definitely something you need to pay attention to. So why do I think this project has potential to do really well? Again, as I said, it's well backed. Layer ones, if you look at the market cap of layer one projects, they tend to do very well. I'll touch on that in a second. But most importantly, the team behind this project is incredibly impressive. Let's have a look at the team. So here is one of the co-founders, Mo. If you just look at his background is so impressive. Look at his CV here, his experience. So he's worked as an advisor for R3. There's a big technology company that's very big in the blockchain space right now. Advisor to Techstars. Techstars is an incredibly successful incubator. Let's look at some more. Again, he worked at Meta, obviously formerly Facebook. He was the CEO of Meridio, so it looks like a blockchain kind of tech company here. Director of Consensus. This is a very big blockchain company. They have lots of involvement in the Ethereum ecosystem and with the Ethereum founding team. He was a Boston consultancy group consultant. Very strong, very, very, very strong CV here. Was at BlackRock, was at Bank of Canada Capital Markets, was at KPMG. Very impressive CV. If we look at Avery here, the other co-founder, again, let's have a look at his experience. Apache Software Foundation. There's a VP there, very senior position in a very strong software company. Again, principal software is a software engineer at Facebook. He was a software engineer at Yahoo. Just quite an impressive CV for the two founders. If we look at some of the other kind of team members here, look at Alan. Let's look at his experience. Researcher at VMware, again, a very big cybersecurity technology company. He went to MIT, so researcher at MIT. Again, MIT is known for producing some very incredibly smart, talented people. So very, very impressive. The CVs of these people behind Aptos, incredibly impressive so far. Was at Microsoft. Oh, very, very impressive CV. Let's look at, again, the last person in the team. Well, there's more people in the team, but let's just look at this last person, because I could be here for forever, taking you through the team members. But you get the gist, that these are very, very strong players. So Yuxuan, I don't know if I butchered that person's name, but you get the point I'm trying to make here. Again, another strong person. Novi Financial, Instagram, Baidu.com, basically China's Google. Just an incredibly impressive team building on Aptos and building for Aptos. And I think this is going to significantly accelerate the path to success of this project. So I mentioned a point earlier that layer ones are an incredibly impressive space to investing in the crypto space because they tend to do very well. And that's because they have a lot of inherent value, because people transact on them. Money's being moved between these blockchains, so they make money, so they're financially sustainable. These aren't vaporware. Layer ones tend to have real activity happening on them. They generate real value, and thus if they generate real value, they're likely to have real world application, and they're likely to be more valuable than things that you don't really have much participation on. So let's look at some other layer ones and how they perform. So we read an article earlier that they've labeled Aptos a potential Solana killer. So just have a look at Solana, see how Solana done, and why, if you had invested in Solana, what kind of returns could you have generated on your money? Well, if you look at the maximum chart here, it's just look at this. Imagine you bought Solana at these prices here, even 60 cents, and held it towards the peak of about $260. Just that's insanity the amount of money you would have made if you'd invested in Solana. Just look at that chart there. Wow, absolutely insane. Even at today's price of $32, give or take, Solana is still significantly high relative to, let's say, its all-time low 2 years ago. It's 6,000 or so percent above its all-time low 2 years ago. That would have been what? You'd have been 60 odd extra money. So just look at these returns. Look at Cardano again, another layer one blockchain, and look at the price chart of Cardano. Similar to Solana, just absolutely just went off like crazy. I personally know that Cardano ICO, i.e. the price I could have bought Cardano at when it came in the market initially, was 2 cents. So from 2 cents to nearly $3. Look at those returns. Binance, BNB, another layer one blockchain. Let's look at BNB. Well, you don't really, okay. I wouldn't really call Binance a layer one blockchain because it isn't. It's more of an Ethereum layer two. But again, it's a blockchain, so it could give you a gist of the story that I'm saying about why blockchains are effectively the best to invest in, and mainly layer ones. But just look at Binance, for example. If you look at when Binance started here, about the $1.50 regions, and sorry, let me bring that chart back up. And it was that $1.50 region, and went up as high as nearly $600. These are just insane run-ups for these prices, and you find these things happen with blockchains, whether they're layer twos, layer ones. Blockchains are very, very high value because there's lots of transaction, lots of activity taking place on blockchains. So that tends to generate inherent value for blockchains over other cryptocurrency projects. Let's then conclude by having a look at what the return was to investors that invested in some of the layer one blockchains I mentioned earlier. So if you have a look here at CryptoRank, it's a very good website to use if you haven't used it before. Really familiarize yourself with it. It will show you how projects have performed since they launched. So I've narrowed it down to 3 blockchain projects. So Solana, Cardano, and Cosmos. And if you look here in this column, all-time high ROI. So this is to say, if you had bought the project at the sell price here, what would have been the return on your money when it was at all-time high? Look at Solana. If you had bought Solana at the ICO from CoinList, so ICO is when the public are able to buy coins in a particular project, you would have 1,000x your money. So if you had put $1,000 in Solana when it launched, you would now, and sold it at the all-time high, you would have made $1.18 million. Just insane. Look at Cardano. If you had put $1,000 in Cardano when it launched, you would have made $154,000. If you had put $1,000 into Cosmos at the ICO, you would have made, nearly $450,000 today. Aptos is a layer one blockchain similar to all of these blockchains I've just mentioned to you, and this is why I'm incredibly bullish about it, and this is why I think you should keep it on your radar, and it's one to watch. If you could potentially pick up, so what do I think is a good price to buy Aptos at? I think, again, not financial advice, I think if you could pick up any layer one blockchain where the market cap is $1 billion or less, fully diluted market cap, by the way, not the circulating market cap, it's value, in my opinion, because if you look at the tech companies of today, your Apples, your Microsofts, your Metas, their market cap is in the trillions. And I think blockchains is a technology of the future. And I can see a lot of these layer one blockchains having market caps in the trillions going forward. So if you can pick up anything today for less than $1 billion, then your upside is incredibly, incredibly high. I hope you like the video. I hope you like the content. I hope you like the alpha I'm giving you here about Aptos Labs. And this is definitely one to keep on your radar because it would definitely be on my radar. And I'm tracking this project when it launches. I'm going to watch it. And I think this is something that I'm looking to potentially pick up a position in and follow the project and to see where they are in the next year or so. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, hope you like the content, and please like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care.